Alright, hello everyone. Today we have the Lord of the Heishous and the Lord of Hongyuan, Honglu over here. Honglu is going to be a very strong character. I feel like they kind of neutered some numbers here in exchange for great synergy numbers, right? His raw numbers, if we just look at them, are great for a 3-star ID. It's just that this unit multipliers are a little bit low. You need to try and hit these multipliers as much as possible, and you need to get specifically the Heishou bolus contaminations. Otherwise, you are kind of limited in terms of your multipliers, right? Because if you have the synergy, you have insane multipliers. But if you don't have it, then you don't have insane multipliers. So this character is literally made to fuse with the Heishous, and you basically don't want to run him without the Heishou units at all, right? Let's take for example this one is max stacks of 11, right? So theoretically you could get 11 Heishous, right? Maybe they are future proofing. Some people have told me that Mumu, I think that they are future proofing for the future. Maybe they don't have all of the Heishous coming in. Sure, if in that case it doesn't, we can just assume that it's less than this, but let's assume that they are going to release 11 Heishous in the future just for calculations purposes, right? 110% damage multiplier here with additional 55% multiplier here, assuming you max the stack up to 11, right? So you want to get as many Heishous as possible because that is a free 110% plus 155%. This persistent effect here requires no energy at all to activate, and it gives you a permanent boost to every single one of your attacks. So you have a nice multiplier on every single one of your skills, making this character want to get as many Heishou bonus fusions as much as possible. The only way to get these bonus fusions is to activate your skill 3-2, your I carve the path of the Lord, in order to gain this depending on which Heishou activated this. So it's going to be a bit slow. There's no way to get another skill 3 for this character, but you do scale very well into long battles. Your enhanced version, your 3-3, doesn't give you any Heishou bolus, which means the only way to actually fuse is through your skill 3 over here. The defense, the Lord's Guard, I did not see any way for them to actually trigger more fusions. So I'm thinking that since it's so slow right now, this is just something for very, very long fights, but they could theoretically add something else that fuses with the Lord. So they just command or they just request the Lord to attack with them, and when they do that, they actually trigger the Heishou bolus contamination, which could be something that happens in the future, right? It's just a little bit of design space that could be added on later on, right? So that's something that could happen. Otherwise, basically, you're scaling. You're basically inevitable. Your design is very, very cool for Honglu. You're basically an inevitable force of will, and you also basically are so hard to kill. Insanely hard to kill. And you can also activate your ego like one time for free. And you can even cleanse your ego by just retreating from the battlefield and then coming back later by asking Shi Chun to bounce you back, or asking someone else to bounce you back later on, right? Or just sacrifice a Mao and then bounce yourself back. Like, this character is so like synergy. It's such a great synergy character. He is just good when he's by himself, but he's also amazing when you start bringing the Heishous into the party. You can get 30% damage here, 50% damage here, so 80%, but then the main multipliers comes from this Heishou over here. By default, you would have 50, 30, and 50. So that's 130 by default, which is great, But you can get more. You can get way more with the Heishou bolus contamination, up to additional 110 plus another 55. So 165% additional on top of the other 150. So you can get 300% multiplier on the skill 3-2, which is pretty insane. And it also has coin power +1, and then +3, and then base power +1. So try to throw him into a ruptured team if you can. Really want to be in a ruptured team so you can get that coin power. But if you want to use him as Unga Bunga, you also can. You just need to give him poise. If you use him in the poise team, you can still kind of shit out the poise requirement in order to get him into a crit character moment, and he can still get the coin power from it. So you can go ahead, kind of go either or, but it's best to just go for Rupture because that's where he really, really belongs. He wants the Heishous in his party, right? Getting this contamination will boost his damage output insanely high, and if you don't have it, you only have 150%. And I say only 150% like it's a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing. This character is Unga Bunga before and Unga Bunga after. It's just way more Unga Bunga with the Rupture team. So yeah, this character is absolutely insane, and he buffs the Heishou pack very, very well. And then Life from Death, if you can actually trigger this thing, oh my goodness, this thing is absolutely beast, right? Plus 3 coin power over here, so you have a 7, 14, 21, 27 in total with multiplier here, multiplier here, attack weight over here, multiplier here again, multiplier here again, and then multiplier over here again, right? Total is like 300 something plus. I like if you can hit every single one of it, right? I'm assuming 11 stacks here, which is some people already told me, you know, we may not get 11, whatever, right? Then it's just a little bit extra, but it's still a lot extra because you're stacking it here and you're stacking it here. It's a bit like the Wild Hunt Heathcliff. You're kind of double stacking on coffins. Coffins itself gives you damage up, and having coffins increases the damage of your skill tree. Same shit here. You just want to keep shitting out skill trees so that you can keep scaling your skill tree, so your skill tree just keeps hitting harder. Except that in this person's case, he cannot really forcefully activate more skill trees by using his guard skill. His guard skill commands other people to retreat, and when they come back, they will be able to pop another skill tree as an unopposed attack against a random enemy, which is still going to be very, very good. And remember, you still have Leash Holder of all the Heishous, and for every 1 stack of Heishous, you gain 1 maximum speed up to 5, and you deal 1% damage with skills, 5% damage with skills, right? For every 2 stacks, you now gain 1 min speed and 1 defense level up. For every 3 stacks, you gain 1 offense level up, and for every 5 stacks, you gain additional damage up. So you have damage up from this, you have additional scaling on your Heishou bolus, you have just a way to just keep bouncing your units back so you can keep making them pop skill tree. So your defense is effectively another person's skill tree. So you have a skill tree by yourself, which is very, very good for scaling yourself, and then you have a defense that makes another person scale just by activating their skill tree instead, right? Very, very disgusting character. It's like Ahab Ishmael walked, so this character could sprint, because this character is just insanely powerful for supporting his team, right? This is assist attack on steroids, because you're just forcing one of your Maos to just use their skill tree, like straight up. It's better than a skill 1 in every single way. So this character is very, very powerful. And of course, there's synergy with the skill, with all of the skills basically. You can give defense power up to your allies with the unique defenses because they're guarding your shit. You can give gluttony damage to all of your allies. Just absolutely disgusting character. Even 100% multi here, and remember you have 55% multi passively if you can hit all of the things later on, right? So skill 2 is very unga, basically another skill tree. Skill 3 is another skill tree, and then your defense is another person's skill tree. So you have a billion skill trees basically, and your passive is so damn good. It's so damn good. All right, right. Anyway, we go to the second passive over here. You have the Lord's Guard effect over here. You can give it to multiple people and you make them eat the damage for you. And if you just go like in without a care and just sacrifice all of your units willy-nilly, you can start to get some really crazy damage multipliers on your skill tree. A strat that's more viable if the content itself lets you get more skill trees, like Mirror Dungeon or Refraction Railway, where you can replace one of your skill 1s with a skill tree, right? More skill trees just means more activations of your very, very OP skill, where you want your units to actually die. And of course, if you want to speed it up, just use your Fell Bullet to start killing off your units, right? And we are also expected to maybe get another Yisang identity, not a Heishou maybe, but maybe it's like former Heishou Yisang, right? Because he is he's the guardian of Ishmael Sichun, so we might be getting that. And that character will have access to Fell Bullet, and that could help to speed up the killing of your own units, right? There's going to be some crazy synergies that might pop up. There's just a lot of design space here where they can just fill in the blanks and then just kind of do unga bunga shit with that, right? And then we can allow us to have more choice with our abilities. This character is so good. It's like, it's why I wish Ishmael really was. If Ishmael was reworked into something like this, holy shit, Ishmael would be an actually good unit. But right now, she's just really, really sus. She's just a really, really sus unit, right? This unit also deals 3% damage for every tarnished blood on yourself, up to 5. Remember that when you retreat yourself, right, you also cleanse tarnished blood off yourself. Expires upon death or retreat, right? So you can prevent your own death just by getting out of there. And what happens is that when you activate the ego skill, which is the end, the Tears of the Tarnished Blood, the actual nuke, right, you don't die. You nullify the death effect. You're constantly bleeding yourself, you don't really care about death, and you just say no to death one time. You heal to 60% HP, and at that point, you're kind of expected to just retreat, refresh yourself, and ask someone else to bounce you back in. For example, Sichun, or maybe even later on, the former Heishou Yisang or something like that, right? So there's so much funky stuff. And you can also give very nice support passive to your on-field Heishous when you are retreating, because you can make them just deal more damage based on the death rights by 15%. So it's just supporting the death rights in every single way. You have a very powerful nuke, and later on, you get damage up every single turn once you pop the big nuke here. So if you want to buff yourself, you actually need to ego yourself and stab yourself. Once you die, you can just retreat yourself and then come back and then when you come back, you just pop off because you have permanent damage up every single turn, and so on and so forth. And if you feel like the fight's going to end, then don't retreat. Just kill them. If you kill them, then you don't die. So it's like whatever, you know, right? This character is just insanely broken, and you can basically go into Mirror Dungeon and pop the ego, and then just die immediately, and then pop the big ego, and you heal back to 60% HP, right? Absolutely dumb. It's dumb. For farming, I think this is going to be something that you probably want to do a lot. Stab yourself round 1 in Mirror Dungeon, explode yourself, drop to 0 HP, but then you don't die, you just heal yourself back, and then kaboom, you nuke every single enemy. Now you have 60% HP, you have no stagger bar anymore, and you can retreat yourself to cleanse the tarnished blood. And if you need to just kill a little bit, just kill a little bit, right? The flow of this character, every single part of him is so good. It's so synergy. It's so what Rupture needs. Is what Rupture needs. Alright, Rupture already didn't need this, but holy shit, Rupture is getting something that's pretty damn insane. Alright, absolutely disgusting character. Very, very disgusting character. There's so much little combos inside of this character, so much choice that you can do, right? So much things you can do. You can use him for killing. You can use his defense all the time just to make your other Heishous do all the work for you. There's so much design, like, this is such a good idea. Such an amazingly designed ID. He also has like 4 to 8 speed, basically one of the fastest units that we've ever seen so far, right? Like, absolutely peak design, absolutely peak design, right? I'm so tempted to pull him because there's so much stuff I really want to do with him, like so much stuff. But essentially, the team that he really wants to be in is just the Rupture team. You throw him here with the Honglus, and then you just throw every single Heishou into the party. Just throw the C inside, just throw this C inside, throw Heishou, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he can get max stacks on one of his skills already. He needs 5 Heishous with him to get something. I think it's the Lord of all Heishous, the leash holder of all Heishous. That one, you need 5 Heishous at least to give him the stacks. And then of course you can add in Shichun later on. I already invested in my Shichun. I'm ready for testing this one. Right, very excited to try out Shichun because Shichun helps to bounce the units, and you can bounce back Honglu also if you really wanted to, right? So just really versatile unit now. Potential woman, I feel like she's actually going to be saved. I really feel like she's actually going to be saved now because of the bouncing synergy, forcing people to use skill 3, and when she comes back after being off the field for a while, you can actually make her use her skill 3 and her skill 1 because she has I can't remember which one. Was it a passive? I think one of her passives is that if she comes back, she activates a skill for free. And since you are forcing her to come back by bouncing herself out, you basically make her pop skill 3 and skill 1. It's kind of like, Shichun, replace me as the Lord for a little bit, and then bounce me back in at your own convenience, right? Some shit like that. Like, there's so much fun stuff you can do with this character. It may not be super OP or super meta. Maybe the meta is just going to be like making Heishou Malphals just use like 4 skills in a turn, right? You can probably do that. But it's just that like there's so much options now. Shichun like actually is a fun unit now, right? And I think that's very nice. Have to have some variety, you know, instead of just spamming guard skill on the Malphals, which is honestly horrendous, right? I mean, I swear they should have just either done the nerf or offered the compensation or just choose one of those options. But now we basically have Malphals, and most likely the meta way to do it is just make Malphals do a bunch of attacks in a turn. Just keep forcing her to do the attacks, right? So maybe there's going to be some strat where you just only funnel every single ability into Malphals and just let her sweep the entire lobby, with Honglu being more of a supporty character. But it's fun, right? To just have all of the Heishous and then do all these buffs and then have very bouncing team comps. Like, this is the first time I think we can actually forcefully just use most of our Heishous, right? Use most of our team, right? At least they're going in the right direction, right? If you want to ever use all 12 Sinners, it's good to have a way to just activate and use all of them in the party to give at least some power to the main characters just for having all of the actual good team comp in the backlines, right? Yes, in a way they're kind of forcing it, but also, yeah, this is really fun still. It's really fun. Combo abilities is going to be so good. Later on, you could straight up do combo ability and then you summon someone from the backline to do the combo ability with you, right? That's another thing that they could do in the future. There's just so much shit that they could do, and I'm just really excited to test out this Honglu with the Shichun. I want to see the bouncing team. I want to see what are the options I can do, because there's like so many things I could do with the Honglu. That's why it's so fun, right? This is such a great addition to the game, really. It's not just Unga Bunga, it's Unga Bunga with some thinking. And if you want to go Unga Bunga, you can probably go for Malphals plus just Honglu, and like that's it. Right, you can just funnel every single assist defense into Malphals and then just win the game off of that. Like, Unga Bunga wise, you can win. And then for people who want to bounce and feel like they're actually doing something, this is something that's also really fun. Right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. for this video. If I missed out on anything, feel free to let me know. There's just a lot of stuff that I really want to test now. I don't have exact interactions done yet, right? There might be some interactions that I'm missing here, but I mean, this is just a really fun and strong unit. He scales super well with the Heishous. Try to get every single Heishou in the party. You can probably only get it if you missed it in the next season for all those newcomers. But it's a very fun unit, and even if you don't have all the Heishous, there will be some other Heishous releasing most likely, right? So you can just go and get those for now, and then later on you can pick up the other Heishous to fill up the rest of the team comp. That's also something that could be done if you just want to maximize the power level of your Honglu and just run the 12 Heishou team. Theoretically, alright, theoretically. Don't call me out, alright? But I feel like there is a chance that there will actually be enough members for the entire Honglu here. Of course, I could always be wrong. It's just maybe proofing, right? Well, whatever the case is, let's just enjoy this Honglu. Very strong unit, great synergy, very fun. Like, absolute peak design. Very fun. I'm so happy with this ID. Really damn happy. Okay, anyway, done. Comment anything I missed. Enjoy, right? Once again, Nice is coming up. Please try to resist pulling. But I also understand if you do pull, because this is very unresistible, honestly. Like, holy shit, I really want to go on a spin with this Honglu. Really want to. They did an excellent job here. Excellent job. Alright, thanks everyone for watching, and I shall see you guys next time. Bye-bye.